Yeah, and that's part of it too. And this is the thing. No one's born an alpha or beta. You understand what I'm saying? You choose what you want. That's what I'm saying. Like, basically, all it really is behaviors. So you choose what type of behaviors you want to display or want to put out there, or you choose the type of lifestyle you want, and then you get a certain, like you get a certain response from that. Because this is the thing. See, if you're the alpha male guy, what you'll be sexually attractive to women, but also on the flip side, because you're unwilling to compromise in a lot of situations, you're gonna lose out on certain women or a number of different women, like, on that front end, right? But you can always still get more women, but you'll still start losing more because they're like, damn, well, this guy's not going to budge. I can't change him. So I have to go somewhere else a lot of times. Now you'll have a woman who will stick with you if she's extremely confident and she's up to the task of basically following your lead. But so that's the thing. But as a beta, you'll have a hard time attracting women in general. But when you do have a woman, you can retain her for a long time. But what you're trading in is you're trading in your fucking masculinity in most cases, because she's leading you. You understand? You have to sort of kowtow to her to keep her happy, to keep her in the situation. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I 100% understand what you're saying, but then that's where I also think it's like, so that means that, like, and I could be wrong here because I know you talk about like how it's not about looks, but doesn't that also now meaning that better looking dudes are more likely to be alpha versus like nope. Less attractive guys?
Nope, because like I said, it's a behavior. It's not a look. You see what I'm saying? It's a behavior, okay, because behavior is involved with sex appeal. So you can look good, but your behavior could also show you're not sexually appealing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. So what is the top 3 behaviors of an alpha male that's like attracted to the opposite sex the most?
No, so the thing is this: what makes a alpha male attractive, or I should say sexually attractive, right? Because you got to understand something. So you have physical attraction and sexual attraction. So physical attraction, if a man is just physically appealing to a woman, but is not sexually appealing to a woman, that means she's not sexually attracted to him, which means she doesn't have the desire to fuck him. But a man could be physically appealing and also sexually appealing because of his look and also because of his behavior. Now, one of the behaviors that makes a man sexually appealing is the fact that he is assertive, right? So a lot of times when guys talk about choosing signals, I'm gonna wait for a girl. No. That's not going to make you attractive because you're not assertive enough to go after what you want, right? Another thing that makes you sexually attractive is the fact that you're actually decisive, right? Another thing that makes you sexually attractive is that you're not scared to be bold sexually. So that means you're not scared to make sexual moves in relation to interacting with a woman. Because what happens is that the language that you use, and when I say language, I'm talking about the way that you communicate with a woman, right? The way that you communicate with a woman will show her what type of guy you are. So if I'm bold enough to be sexual with a woman and say what I want to say, even at the risk of offending her, right? She's like, oh, this guy's not scared of me like the beta. You see what I'm saying? And so therefore, she's more attracted to you, and that has nothing to do with your looks. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand that. So how do some men just naturally, because growing up, like some men just naturally had that type of like, they just had to like, is that from like their programming growing up? Like where does one understand like, okay, this is the alpha type of way of moving, this is the beta type of moving?
No, some guys, just like their personality is just a certain way. But generally, right, what happens is that when guys are interacting with women and they start to, get good at game and understand what they got to do. Because this is the thing. Some guys, because they're out there doing a lot of things when it comes to dealing with women, they start to pick up on the patterns that show them exactly what they're doing that's working. And all they keep doing is doing the same shit that's been working. And so what happens is that they can differentiate what's working, right, from what they're hearing works. I'm going to say that again. They know how to differentiate what's working from what they're hearing works. And this is what we were talking about earlier. I think somebody in the chat wrote the question. He said, well, why do women seem like on the surface, they despise the alpha male, but and all this other stuff. And what happens is that what people thinks works is, oh, you got to court a woman, get to know her, be a gentleman, and that's what's going to make the woman want you. But we all know that this is why they have the saying, nice guys finish last, because in reality, right, what people are saying works doesn't. You understand? The mainstream idea of what works to attract women does not work. And most guys do that thing, which makes them beta. You feel what I'm saying? But the guys who actually attract women naturally, what happens is that they understand what works because they're actually making it work in real life, in real time. And what they're doing is contradictory to what the fuck society is saying to do. You see what I'm saying? And so that, and that's the thing. So a lot of times when you're listening to what women say they want, a lot of times they're not going to tell you the real thing, because if they tell you the real thing, then they can't take advantage of you as a beta. You see what I'm saying? It just can't work.